Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that whenever we release a video at the Jamaica Young Police channel, you'll be the first to receive the same. Remember to share the video with your friend, your mama, papa, girlfriend, boyfriend, and your side chick and side man. Yes, and post a comment below, even just to post and say, I am here to show your appreciation of the work that we are doing here at the Jamaica Young Police channel. And thanks for being a part of the movement. So, moving on. We're at the Jamaica Young Police and we hate criminals with a passion. So here's one of them. This guy's name is Javon Pinnock. Yeah, aka Froggy. Have a distinct scar on the left side of his face and him eye go all the way down to him cheekbone. And you know, more or less is a Jamaican do that, you know, telephone cut. I don't know how them come by that thing for, you know, to scar people face like that, and that it's just awful, but terrible people. So this man that you're looking at, his name is Javon Pinnock, aka Froggy. Yeah, Froggy them call him on the street, and he's wanted in New York, in Queens, New York, for the murder of Javon Jamison, a Jamaican youth them called Blingers. Yes, and Blingers was killed almost 2 years ago by this man and another man named Christopher King. Christopher King is in custody in New York, awaiting trial for the murder of Jamison. So we are appealing, we are begging, beseeching you Jamaican people in Jamaica and the diaspora, wherever you see this man, to inform the police, whether it's 119 or 911, and let them know that this man is wanted in New York for the murder of Javon Jamison, so that this man can be placed in custody or go straight to the departure home where he belongs. And that's justice. And we say that because we hate criminals with a passion, because there was no reason for this man to kill Blingers, because Blingers was not a threat to him at the time. It was murder, clear murder. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, so we're almost coming to the close of the chapter of this one other done that the police had killed. His name is Othniel Thickman Loban. The one in his boasie coffin. Yeah, so you know they're showcasing him before even the funeral, because the funeral is supposed to be tomorrow, March 30th. And you know the police had put out a warning to all the police officers in Jamaica to be on the alert. You know, they expect to have celebratory gunshots for him, treating him as if he was some hero, soldier, you know, or what they want to call him in the criminal underworld. But you know, for us at the Jamaica Young Police channel, he was just another corrobunkus and dirty bungle. Yeah, and the reason why we say, yeah, he's in boasie coffins, because the way they're treating this man and as a criminal, you know, more or less maybe they have even more coffins for him, because, you know, it's smuggling. So they're showcasing him right now in his boasie suit with him Rolex watch and him Hennessy. I don't know how am I going to drink that and all them things, you understand, because the dead have no life. But these people, they are not only cool, but these people live in a different world. They don't live in a real world, because, you know, what's the sense of burying someone with a Hennessy? You know, that have no use for him, because he's dead and the dead have no power. You understand? So, you know, so this chapter is coming to an end today. Tomorrow, that's Sunday, March 30th. So, you know, the death of Othniel Thickman Loban, reputed one other gang leader, was not just another chapter in Jamaica's long battle with organized crime. it's quickly evolving into a full-blown cultural spectacle. Its passing has ignited a new wave of bizarre funerary pageantry, blending gangland, bravado, high fashion, spiritual confusion, and a distorted obsession with style over substance. So you're going to see, you'll be seeing Thickman, yeah man. Them say, boy, I'm Thanksgiving service, but I don't know what kind of thanks, But, right now you're looking at Othniel Thickman Loban, yeah man, so him that, getting his welcome from Satan. Because them put all kind of white thing behind him as if he's going to heaven. I don't know which devilish people going to heaven, but these are all figment of these people's imagination. They believe being wicked, you end up in heaven. No, hell see Satan there welcome him. So to all of the labor rights them who celebrate him as if some hero because he was a killer and he was a don and him extort people. And I remember a youth that was deported and them kill him. Yeah, see him labor right, them kill him. In Spanish Town, that's unheard of. Kill a taxi man. Because you refuse to pay extortion. You go and work. But these people do not want to work. They believe in whatever you have, you must give it to them. And we applaud the police force are sending this man to the departure alone because he was a human parasite. And we say that without any apology. So you see the devil there with his fire. And Thickman, no matter things say him can't go down a hell and run things because the devil is God's son. And the only thing Satan cannot do is blow a breath. So that him have Thickman already working down there hard. You understand? But tomorrow, Sunday, March 30th would be his last day on earth. When I say on earth, I not talk alive, I talk for him go right in the ground. Well, Congo rum them and all them things, they eat him and get a nice meal. You understand? So these people, them sick in them head because them believe that being evil is good and being good, you're a sucker. But we see it otherwise. We see it evil, you're evil, and the only way to deal with evil is to send evil where evil belongs. So what we're witnessing is the transformation of funerals into red carpet events where the dead don't just rest, they perform. So we don't know, so this is a preview of Thickman's funeral. So we don't know if they might come out with another suit during the funeral because you have the Perry's funeral home that's taking care of his making sure that the funeral is an extravagant event. They have a website, so you go there and you'll be able to see some things. But many thanks to the viewer and subscribers who have shared this photograph with us and all of the relevant things to go along to, so we can share it with the audience. Before Thickman's body even reached the funeral parlor, photos of him began circulating online, not from the wake, not from the burial, because his burial is tomorrow, but from what can only be described as a pre-funeral style premiere. Never seen nothing like this before. So there he was, propped up, fully dressed already, in his lavish casket, or you can say coffin, or coffins, because maybe they might change it, in a crisp designer suit, estimated at a minimum, maybe 20. Yes, big thanks to everyone who reached out via the channel's telephone number to show interest in subscribing to our new platform, one that builds to speak truth to power and impact every single person living in America and around the world. It doesn't matter if you are black, white, yellow, green, blue or red. This message is for all people who believe in freedom, truth and justice. Yes. As we have said before, the name of the new challenge speaks for itself. United we win, divided we lose. And you're looking at, most people say that they cannot find it and all kind of things. So now, getting the feedback from, from most of you people, in which Well, we can't even count the amount of people that reach out to us and leave message. We cannot find it. You have to understand that my voice, this voice is not a voice that has been loved by the powers that be. Because when you speak truth, they try to censor you in every way. But guess what? We're not gonna stop, So united we win, divided we you lose. That's not just a slogan. It's a fact. It's a call to rise above fear and stop playing it safe while the system quietly chews up and spit us out. Even you. Cowards might think they are staying out of trouble by staying silent, but in the end, they will get fucked. We just say it runs there spiritually, mentally, financially, and politically. So here's the truth. It is better to live a life and die as a free, honest, decent, honorable, and truthful human being than to exist as an obedient, broken slave begging for crumbs from a table that was never built for you. For over 400 years, our ancestors, we are taught black people, cried out to a God. They were taught to fear, kneeling and praying to a man in the sky, while their bodies were chained and their minds conditioned. That didn't free them. What did? Knowledge, courage, unity. Men like Taki, who the same maroons in Jamaica kill, chop off his head and put on a pike. Taki is the one why the United States of America exists today as a republic, but they won't teach the white people in America. A black man who took on the British Empire and won. And it's time we walk that same path. Any bolder? This new channel is not for the weak-hearted, the lukewarm, or for the comfortably numbed. It's for those who know who they are, God's children, defined by nature, fearless by choice. If that's you, welcome on. To the rest, stay away. We don't need friends who are secretly enemies. We don't need deadweight, doubters or deceivers. When we say enemies, we're talking about everything that stands against the truth. Lies, manipulation, division, cowardice, and blind obedience. No more lies, no more games, no more silence. This channel is the battleground for truth, and we are not backing down. How many times can they kill us once? Millions of our ancestors has died for this, for the little freedom that we're enjoying. God created every man equal, but some think that they're superior. And those who think that they're superior, just look, not one of them have ever been the fastest one in the world. Their genes are recessive. Our genes are dominant. So please, subscribe to the channel. We know that we are being sabotaged and tampered by the powers that be. But as time goes by, the truth will reveal. 20,000 US. Yeah, man, and film suit come from Italy. Me don't know a man dead. Yeah, man dead here by a $20,000 US suit for him. Hug his lifeless frame. A shimmering luxury watch. Yeah, man, say my man a Rolex that are Casio. You know, must say a Rolex or fake Rolex, but say after his funeral tomorrow, they're gonna dig it up for rob him. I don't know what kind of madness that. You understand? So maybe it's a Rolex or a Breitling clasped tightly to his right wrist, and the man have on a pinky ring gleam on his fingers, screaming one other than, and a pair of designer shades. Like I said, maybe I'll $2,000 for female, $2,000 US, and their own cover his eyes. Although his eyes them now working, because them close. The police and they mash him up, lick up him head and all them thing there. So the whole ensemble resemble a mafia boss send off in a Hollywood flick. But this was real life, or rather, death in Spanish Town, said Catherine. Yeah, man, Taspen. Some say this was a preview suit, implying that on the day of the funeral, Thickman might be redressed in something even more expensive, flashier, maybe with another $20,000 outfit, US, change like it's a party. Because in many circles in Jamaica today, especially where gang influence run deep, death has become a performance art. And in this rising culture of postmortem pageantry, Hennessy is no longer poured in the remembrance. It is placed in the casket. Rumors swirl that dearly departed will be laid to rest with a bottle of any chilling beside him, like a faithful companion into the afterlife. Some suspect that this process is now linked to what, yours truly, dub, dummies at best, low IQ people, and a strange hybrid of people who European elegance and Jamaican badness combining colonial legacy with inner city bravado. So in this unfolding cultural realities, funerals are not solemn moments of grief. They are full-blown productions, just like a dance. The men orchestrating these events are stylists, choreographers, and set designers, all in transforming the dead into icons to be worshipped and remembered. Not for their goodness, but for their status. And status in this distorted world is measured by how extravagant your send-off is. When you peel back the layer of gold and silk, the real tragedy behind all of this and what begins to emerge, this is not just about Thickman. It's about what he represents. The normalization and glorification of killers in Jamaican society has reached a fever pitch. Criminals who once lived by the gun are now immortalized with doves, stairways to heaven, and funerals more extravagant than a prime minister's wedding. These people are some sick, vile, and cuckoo. This man is destined. This man already have been placed in a hell. Photos from Thickman's pre-funeral viewing features backdrop of white doves and a staircase leading to a heavenly gate. An absurd contradiction given the man documented history of orchestrated murders, extortion, and community domination through fear. Yet, here he was, posthumously aligned with angelic symbolism, as if the slate could be wiped clean with a few bottles of liquor and a well-tailored suit. And this brings us to the most sobering observation of all. In modern Jamaica, some of the most godless acts are committed by people who speak the most about God. That's how it is. The wickedest people in Jamaica tell about God. The idea of divine forgiveness is weaponized by those who commit unspeakable acts and then wrap themselves in the comforting illusion that a last-minute prayer or offering will grant them absolution. The wickedest people talk about God the most, not because they love God, but because they love the idea of doing anything they want and then saying, God forgive me. Some of the wickedest people, them. That is the true allure of religious posturing in crime culture. The idea of a cosmic loophole. As the March 30 funeral of Thickman approaches, residents in Spanish Town and beyond are bracing, not for mourning, but for a circus. Streets are expected to be flooded with mourners and masqueraders, some sincere, others putting on a show to outdo one another in the badness branding or madness or top man or top girl, or who can skin out and who can cock up and all kind of madness. The speaker, so we we want a residence. We can't tell, remember, lock your doors. Avoid the area of Spanish Town tomorrow and stay clear of the agents of death that's about to unfold. So we tell all of the people them in and around Spanish Town to stay away from Taspin, because the madness is tomorrow. The madness will take over the capital. And our police security force, especially our police officer, must be on the lookout, be on the alert. This is not just about mourning a man. It's about celebrating a legacy of violence with music, luxury, and ostentation, as if his crimes were badges of honor. It is a theatrical production so grand that even Circus Soleil would struggle to compete, or even Walt Disney. Ultimately, the death of Thickman and the ritual surrounding it forced us to confront some difficult questions. How did we get here? We can't tell you. Well, it's telling now go right back in our history. And it started from Burry Boy. People who are from my community, the Kingston metropolitan area, will remember when Burry Boy was being buried. Michael Manley, along with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, yes, along with over 24,000 people, marched, and they tried to cause problem with the people of Tivoli Gardens because he was killed. Yes, he was killed by a young man named Waxy from Tivoli Gardens after he had killed someone down there, and they shot and killed him. But he was one of Michael Manley's murderer. So they tried. That's when there's a lore of celebrating the legacy of violence. Michael Manley is the one that started it. Burry Boy, Winston Blake. So when did funeral stop being about remembrance and start being about performance? This thing started from Willie Agat. Yes, when Willie Agat was killed. Or should we say, yes, it was after Willie Agat was killed. That's when everything starts changes. And what message are we sending to the youth, especially those in vulnerable communities, about what it means to be somebody? If you want to understand the depth of Jamaica's culture and the crisis around crime and redemption, don't not just look at the murders, look at the funerals. Because in a land where the most feared are also the most celebrated, the only thing more powerful than living like a Don is dying like one, with champagne, casket designer suit and all, and glasses. Yes, So to those low IQs, those easily mesmerized by glitter, gold and gimmicks, let this be a sobering wake-up call. There is nothing cool about dying as a gangster. No matter how flashy the casket, how expensive the suit, how many bottles of Hennessy you ride with your cops, you are still dead. 6 feet deep, straight to the departure lounge, rotting beneath the same dirt as the poor man with no name and no shoes. All the accoutrement, $20,000 designer suit, designer watches, 1,000 carat. What do you mean, 1,000 carat rings and staircase to heaven backdrop cannot buy your redemption. They may fool a few on Instagram, but they can't change your legacy, your victims, or the pain you brought to families and communities. This warp glorification of death, the idea that you can murder, extort, terrorize, and then be celebrated with fanfare, is a cultural cancer. It's saying the wrong message to young, impressionable minds who now believe that if you die in luxury, it somehow erases a life lived in wickedness. Let's be clear. A stylish coffin is still a coffin. Or we say coffins because we don't know. They might change, maybe them change Thickman coffin to another color. A man buried in diamonds is still dead. And a legacy of violence, no matter how pretty it looks in picture, is still a legacy of destruction. So, to the young men watching these so-called bad men being idolized in death, don't be fooled. They are not being honored. They are being exhibited. They are not at peace. They are just finally silenced. And when your time comes, don't expect anyone to remember you for the blood you spilled. Just the suit you wore and the chaos you left behind. You want to be remembered? Live right. Build something. Protect your community. Uplift others. Because when the lights go down and the liquor dries up, only your actions will echo, either in praise or in shame. Choose wisely. Men like O'Neill, Thickman, Laban are not role models. They are human parasites. He was not a figure to admire, celebrate, or emulate. He was not a champion of his community, nor was he a misunderstood rebel. Thickman was a violent enforcer of chaos, a man who thrived on fear, extortion, and bloodshed. His name etched in the headline, not for heroism, but for the homicides, represent everything that continues to cripple the progress of our nation and destroy the potential of our youths. For any young man looking up to Thickman, thinking that his notoriety is something to aspire to, understand this. His life was built on a foundation of pain, death, and intimidation. He used his influence not to uplift, but to control, manipulate, and exploit. He didn't leave behind a legacy of empowerment. He left behind broken homes, grieving families, and shattered communities. Calling someone like Thickman a role model is an insult to every hardworking, decent father, teacher, police officer, soldier, mentor, and builder who sacrifice daily to make a better life for others. True role models uplift, educate, and protect. Thickman did the opposite. He was a human parasite. Let me repeat that. Thickman was a human parasite, feeding off the lifeblood of his own people for power and personal gain. Fathers, warn your son. Mothers, shield your children. Teach them that being feared is not the same as being respected. Remember them that dying in a designer suit doesn't erase a life spent destroying others. Let them understand that real greatness is not measured by how many people kneel to you out of fear, but how many lives you raise up through love, guidance, and integrity. In a time when the lines between fame and infamy are being dangerously blurred, we must draw a clear line. Thickman is not a hero. He's a cautionary tale. And if we want to reclaim our communities and steer our youth in the right direction, we must stop dressing up parasites as king. Thickman was no king. He was a parasite, a human parasite. And those who think that he's going to heaven, I pity your ignorance, because you yourself, you're destined for hell. Thickman was no angel on earth. He was a human parasite. He was a devil. And he deserved every bullet that he got from the police officers at 6 miles. It doesn't matter how you think or feel about him, about One Daddy Badness. One Daddy Badness is already in hell, being welcomed by the devil and nothing else. So everything that they have put there, remembrance of Thickman, Thanksgiving life. Thickman life was a life of destruction, chaos, fear, and he was a human parasite. Thickman was not an hero. He was zero. And his soul not only will rot, but he will burn in hell forever. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.